Super Smash TV on Super Nintendo. This is an arcade port that was developed by Beam Software and published by Acclaim in 1992. The game is set in the distant year of 1999 in a hyper-violent TV game show in the style of that Schwarzenegger movie with a man that's like running. You guessed it, Clockstoppers, where you shoot hordes of seemingly never-ending enemies in order to win big prizes like VCRs, toasters, and even a year's supply of good meat. Every so often, you would see the host of the show come up and give you some important information too.
I'd buy that for $1.
Holy shit, that lady's stacked!
To describe the controls, this is a twin-stick arcade shooter that was brought home and adapted to a Super Nintendo D-pad and the diamond-style button scheme. And holy crap, it actually works really well. Anyway, the first level does a good job in introducing the kinds of challenges that you're going to be facing in a way that feels fair. The enemies are slow and few. Oh, and the shrapnel guys? They can go to hell. They water alongside the walls, and if you do not kill them in time, they will explode and shoot shrapnel in all directions. While it may not seem like too much of a big deal, it's pretty damn hard to keep track of the microscopic projectiles that they shoot at you while dodging and shooting all the enemies in the room. I suggest finding a second to dispose of them before they become a real problem. While there are more types of enemies in the game and they all seem to dogpile you at once, I feel like the shrapnel guys are particularly annoying throughout the whole game. Luckily, there are power-ups that spawn randomly throughout the game to help you overcome most of the challenges that the game throws at you. You can get different weapons like rockets, multi-shots, grenades, and as well as useful items like temporary force fields, blades that surround you, a drone that shoots alongside you, sneakers to make you run faster, and a room-clearing bomb. Oh yeah, and the one-up.
Dude!
I find that the best strategy to get through the game is to turtle up on the corner of a room and just shoot anything that gets nearby from there. With skills such as someone like me, you should be able to get through the first level without even dying. At the end of the first level, you will get to the first boss of the game, Mutoid Man, who is a giant torso and tank treads that shoots lasers out of his eyes. Mutoid Man does not take any damage from your regular weapon, so you would have to wait for a weapon power-up to spawn. Sometimes, he might be generous enough not to block it. When you get a power-up, stand behind him so that you do not get hit by the lasers and shoot him from there. Mutoid Man has multiple phases where he loses each of his arms, then his shirt alongside most of his chest, then his freaking head, and, well, the torso, but he gets his head back. Oh, and a quick tip, you can still die if you touch him while he's exploding.
Wow!
Once he's completely dead, make your way to the next room and complete the level. And that's the game.
Busted!
Now, if you would stop being a pussy and put the game in normal, you would actually get to level 2. So in level 2 is when the game decides to get ridiculous with both the types and amounts of enemies that you're going to face. And it also takes a chance to make fun of my ultimate turtling strategy. If you can survive the rooms of level 2 and make it to the last room, you will encounter the most difficult boss of the game, Scarface, like from that movie. And just like in the movie, Scarface is a giant face on a disc. You have to shoot off the plates on the sides as well as shoot it in the face with the most annoying sounding weapon in the game. Scarface likes to run up to you while shooting shit everywhere. It's pretty damn difficult to stay alive, but just for this boss fight, using some of the power-ups give you invincibility. After you manage to destroy him, he will come back again as a skull for the second phase. Run around in circles so that he does not catch you while you're shooting at him, trying to collect all the power-ups that you can along the way. After losing like 3 continues on this boss fight alone, you're now ready for the final level. The challenge at level 3 is the endless amounts of enemies that are going to spawn. It seems like every room lasts for a damn eternity now. If you make it to the 3rd boss, it's 2 cobras that shoot lasers out of their heads. While they're definitely a bit more difficult than Mutoid Man, they're still not as hard as Scarface. For this fight, just keep moving, dodge the lasers from the heads, and shoot the bodies, and there you go. Yeah, the game is not over. You still have like 2 more rooms. The rooms following the 3rd boss will indicate whether you do or you do not have enough keys. So, what are keys? Well, there are keys that spawn randomly throughout the game. These don't give you any power-ups or points as far as I know. But if you collect 10 and get to the very end of stage 3, you'll unlock the Pleasure Dome, which awards you with a lifetime supply of women. Anyway, the last boss of the game is the host of the show himself. It's just the same fight as Mutoid Man. And that's it. Yeah, in order to get the real ending of the game, you have to find the 3 secret rooms, get enough keys, and beat the game. The game will start you back at the beginning, only it's a lot faster now. Though they did have the courtesy of giving you extra lives this time around. So what do I really think of this game? This game is really fun. I think it might be one of my favorites, especially when it comes to arcade ports. But it's one of those games that is meant for something called Coop. I'm not sure what the hell that means, but I'm sure I haven't got it because it's freaking impossible. There are only 3 levels, but the sheer amount of shit that you have to dodge and shoot is ridiculous. Along with the fact that even if you beat the game, you don't get a good ending unless you collect all the secret stuff, beat the game, and then beat the game again while it's running even faster. If I were to give you a recommendation, if you find this game at your local Sears for about $1 or so, definitely pick it up.